Hey, what's up guys? I'm gonna show you this 1/12 scale 6.5 inch James Bond Daniel Craig action figure. Before I show it to you though, let me show you the unboxing of this figure, and then we'll go back to this point in the video. Let's go back in time and show you the unboxing of my James Bond action figure. So you can see it comes in this really cool looking box. It says Top Agent. Very secretive name. We're just gonna slice this bad boy open, guys. That should be enough to get this party started. Oops. So for historical sake, let's show you the instructions that were inside. And you can see it's written in Chinese and also in English. And Muff said, let's take him out of this cool looking container. If I can take him out. I want to take it out without all the pieces spilling, but I normally spill all the pieces. Oh, I already spilled it. I spilled it. I spilled some hands, guys. I don't know if this is part of it. I don't know. But here is Bond himself. He comes out like Frankenstein. And, oh, somebody was trying to suffocate him. Let's go measure him really quick while we're here. It's considered a 1/12 scale, but sometimes those measurements, or sometimes those scales aren't the same for every toy maker. He's about 6.5 inches tall. And let me see this figure. Dang, he looks great. I just looked at his face. So fully clothed. I'm kind of afraid to bend him. He's basically a little doll that's 6.5 inches tall. Very high quality though. Oh my gosh, that's super high quality. Here, let me put him to the side for a second. But I want to look at the other accessories that comes with this. So these are the accessories that are inside. Here's this little Walter PPK. Here's his wristwatch. These are really tiny items. Remember, a 1/12 scale. I don't know what this is yet. It's very thin. Looks like we have 5 different hands that he can choose from here. So that's pretty cool. And then we got this thing in a plastic. Hold on, let me try to zoom in on this. What is this? What is this? It's like a photograph? Oh, it's a photograph of a... Oh, that's the girl from Casino Royale. So I put one of his gun hands on his left hand. And I don't think he's a lefty, but that's where I put it. But that was the first hand I saw. And man, he looks great. Oh my gosh, this tuxedo looks excellent on him. And the details on his face, astonishing, guys. So I like to put him next to another James Bond product. And this one right here, this is an RC car made by Radio Shack for the Casino Royale movie. And this one is an official licensed product. The Aston Martin. Look at that. Here, let me hide that antenna. Oh, that looks great, doesn't it? So the RC car is 1/12 scale. It's kind of hard finding these nowadays. It really is. But next to the car, oh man, he looks great. I think we're caught up with the intro that I just made, but oh man, yeah, he scales up perfectly with this RC car. Oh, I got some dust on this thing. That'd be cool if they made some alternate costumes for this for the Daniel Craig. Because I think Daniel Craig made some excellent James Bond movies. I remember when he was first announced as James Bond, people were hating on him because his hair is like blonde. James Blonde. No, it was blonde, and you know, James Bond's supposed to a dark character with dark hair. At least that's how he's described in the Ian Fleming books. And then that's how other James Bond were in the movie, dark hair. But Daniel Craig kind of broke the appearance of James Bond by looking like that. But this figure, I digress. This figure looks great. If you're a James Bond collector, definitely get this. I can't see why you wouldn't want to get this, unless you want to get, you know, like a bigger, you know, 1/6 scale 12-inch figure. So yes, I am very pleased with this figure. I'm a huge fan of James Bond. I've watched every James Bond religiously, and I've been a fan since the 80s, and I couldn't tell you who my favorite James Bond was, but I think every single James Bond was fantastic. Obviously, a lot of people are going to go for Sean Connery. I think he was the OG, the legend. He did everything perfectly. He was so suave. But the other James Bonds were great. I used to hate on Timothy Dalton, but Timothy Dalton was just like James Bond from the books, so you can't really fault Timothy Dalton for that. And I think he was a fantastic Bond. He's the Bond that I grew up with when I was a kid. Then you have Pierce Brosnan, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, and then Daniel Craig. And I think every single actor, they brought something to the table for James Bond. As for my favorite Daniel Craig James Bond movie, it's hard to say. I do love the car Inspector. Because Inspector, they made a car, the DB10, an Aston Martin. That car was made specifically just for James Bond. It's the first time James Bond had a car made specifically for him. It wasn't a pre-existing car. It was a car that they made just for the movie. That car was fantastic. I also like this Aston Martin from Casino Royale. That's also another excellent car. But yeah, Daniel Craig, fantastic actor. I'm glad they made this figure of him, because I think he looks great with the car. It'll look great on display. Yeah, that's pretty much it.